I'm taking my hallway doors from this to this. Our goal for the winter of 2024 was to have these swapped out with a fresh new look up here. Problem was, winter of 2024 came and went like that. We've owned this house for 10 months and have done a ton of work on the inside. The one place that we've just neglected was up here. The old doors stunk. They were ugly, they did not match the flooring that I had up here, and it just clashed. In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove door systems, the most DIY-friendly installation method for these door systems, and then some of the issues that we came across. Let's get into the bathroom and start tearing apart that old casing. All right, welcome to the bathroom. The very first thing we want to do is take off this door. I'm going to grab my driver. Now this isn't something that you have to do, but I'm throwing these on Facebook Marketplace, these door slabs. See if I can make back about $100. We'll see if that actually pans out. Money, money, money! What you're gonna wanna do next is drop the door on your bare toe. Ah! It helps make the process more enjoyable. And now we can get into removing this. But before we do that, we are going to want to use a utility knife. Now we're going to want to score every joint to the drywall. If I don't, what will happen, peel off the paper and create a whole lot more work than what we actually need to do. So all I'm going to do is take this razor knife and just put that right in the corner and just carry that down. All the way to the ground. And just peel back 50 years of latex paint. All right, so now I'm actually ready to get into breaking some stuff apart. So I'm gonna want 3 different tools. I'm gonna want a drywall mud knife or any kind of flat knife with an edge like this, a pry bar, and a hammer, which I got on my tool belt. So I'm just gonna take this, just gonna put it in, break off anything else I may not have gotten. Okay. Then, because I'm replacing this jamb, if this gets tore up, who cares? So I really just wanna get that in there, best I can. And if you can see the side of my face, you wanna be careful because this kitty paw likes to bite back. I punched myself in the face with this end of the kitty paw. Good. It's always fun tearing apart old houses. This house was built in '76. We're the second owners. That's pretty cool. We can set this to the side. And then I'm gonna wanna do that on all 3 sides, on both sides of the door, and make getting this off a lot easier. So I'm gonna get this off, and I'll catch you guys in a minute. You may have wondered why I needed a hammer. If you got a piece of trim that just doesn't wanna come off, hammer that kitty paw in there.
Good, baby, very good.
We've got everything off, and now I'm going to use my hacksaw to get off all the nails. Learn the hard way, you gotta be careful around your flooring because it'll chew your new flooring right up. All right, I've got everything out. Now we can just this out of the rough opening and toss it out the window for what my wife calls the nice man to get later. All right, now that we've got the rough opening set and ready to go, I want to kind of clean up the outside here and just get any of these old brackets off that I cut. Okay, the other thing you're going to want to do is just make sure that you hammer in any nails. Get everything set. My supervisor didn't do his job. I got a clip over here. All day she's been helping, but she's camera shy. The other thing too is if you live in an old house, this is a good opportunity to just clean up anything in here. But dust, cobwebs, all that kind of stuff will hold scent and hold stink. Use this as an opportunity to clean up someplace that you're not normally going to get, and make everything nice and pretty smelling. I'm using this Easy Hang, is what it's called. And these are just some brackets that you put on the inside of the door jamb to just make it easier. You don't have to do any face nailing. You don't have to actually get into your door jamb and then mud everything over, put wood filler back over. So this makes it really easy. All you have to do is mark a plumb line about a 1/2 inch in, and then you use that plumb line that you set with that 4 or 6 foot level, and then you just align it to one of these consistently on each side, but one on the hinge side and one on the strike side. I guess I gotta get this 1/2 inch plumb line set. The line going all the way down. All right, so now I need to take these included screws, and right below each hinge where you would normally shim, you're gonna put one of these brackets. All right, a couple things. Number one, make sure when you're getting new doors, you measure your existing doors. I measured these 3 out here. They were all 30 inchers, so I said, you know what, this is probably a 30 incher too. This is a 28 incher. My helper gave a thumbs down. Now all I have to do is get these lined up on each side to our plumb lines that we just drew with that level. Go from the hinge side first, top down. We'll start with this one, then middle, then bottom. Then move over to my strike side, top, middle, bottom, and then our top goes in last. So let's see how that goes. How are we living? Good? Off that. This goose is cooked. All the doors are on.
Mine's the handles.
He's being so close.
Oh, we gotta do the handles too. Yesterday was Easter. I worked on getting these chiseled out and the doorknobs attached. So everywhere else we're good, but I do want to show you guys how you can get your bore set for your striker, and then how we can adjust this striker, and if there's any adjustments we need to make on the doors. For this part, you're going to need a razor knife, a chisel. I found this 1/2 inch chisel worked the best for this part. A hammer, a bubble level, a torpedo level preferably, and the best pencil of all time, the Dixon Ticonderoga. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put in our latch into this bore. Make sure you get your pencil handy, that way you don't have to do it again. I'm just going to trace a line with my pencil around this to know where I need to chisel out. In each of these corners, I'm going to take this drill, and I just want to see where this lines up. It kind of gave me a rough estimate on where I need to go in. Because of these rounded corners, this will give me a good starting point. Then score around this. Now, I've learned the hard way that this just is not going to be perfect. There's nothing that I've found, and there may be a better way for those of you that do this for a living to do this. However, I don't do this for a living, so this is the best way that I've come up with. I don't want this to splinter, so I'm just gonna bore this out the depth that I need it to be. I'll take my chisel and carefully remove all of this and start on your edges. That way you don't tear this up. Now you be careful. If you can see my finger, I sliced myself open yesterday doing this. These chisels are a lot sharper than they look. Hopefully you have a steadier hand than I do and this looks better. Fortunately, your local home store will sell either white paint or caulk. As I believe the saying goes, there's trim and paint. No, there's caulk and paint for the craftsman. I ain't. Yeah, you gotta be careful because you'll slip and either get your finger or a place on the door that your wife will scold you. But the work's free, it just costs dinner. What more could she ask for? She's behind the camera. Honey, we're not looking too bad.
Looks good, babe.
Thanks, honey. That's why we do this, guys. Right there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I get myself? All right, so on camera it looks a little off center just because of the black, but this is still level. I'm gonna prove it to you. Well, I guess we are. Oh no, we're not. It's kind of rocked. All right, there. We're good. All right, and then it is just protruding out a little bit. But man, this looks a lot better than my first one. We have just a smidge of a problem. I've locked myself in the bathroom.
Drake? What? Where's the door hole?
Luckily, these came with a key. This was my first one, and you can just see the difference. I'm gonna end up having to caulk this and honestly probably chisel it back out and put some backer behind there, but you can see I damaged that and it's just not as nice looking. All right, so we need to install our strike plate. But you know what a strike plate is? That is this guy here. But you can see it fits everywhere. Actually, this strike plate fits perfectly, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. I lied. We've got to chisel out a little bit of the inside, but everything else is perfect. So I'm going to take that same 1/2-inch chisel and basically just scrape the inside of this. I don't have to take out much because I just need this to sit honestly flush like that. So we're good. Now we can install this. Pimp down. I'm a mess. Drill my pilot holes here. And then carefully install my screws. Okay, so we're good. That is how you install the door latch. This is my first time replacing doors like this. I mean, I've put in new ones into new work, but doing old work doors like this, it's a bit more of an undertaking than I thought it was going to be. So I'm giving myself some grace and having some fun and learning a new skill while also saving my family some money, you know, doing it myself. This has been about a 2-day project. Didn't get started till about 2 o'clock on Saturday. We worked until about midnight, and then we went to church Sunday. I worked until about 3 o'clock after church, and then today after work, I'm here, you know, finishing everything up. So getting everything done has been about, I'd say 13 hours to this point, and I've probably got another 5 hours to do.
A few moments later.
Moving my truck out of the garage, and I messed a cut up. So Supervisor said it's probably the best idea to cut it short for tonight, that way we don't mess anything else up. But yeah, this 2-day project is officially a 4-day project. All right, it's day 4, and I'm going to start by repairing some drywall. My wife is going to paint where this isn't meeting up. We're gonna get some stuff cleaned up and see what we can come up with. Only a couple little spots. We should be looking good for you drywall guys. I've said it. I'm not a drywall guy. So we do the best that we can, and we hope that caulk and paint can fix the rest. As it turns out, I did have quite a bit of drywall work I had to do. All right, it is the end of day 5. We just got done painting. I finished up some drywall, sanded that down. I didn't film any of that because I'm not a good drywaller, and I also don't paint walls all that well. And I'm self-conscious about it. I want you to make fun of me. But we are gonna grab some food. It's like 10 o'clock, and hopefully by tomorrow, we are ready to get all of this trim, excuse that, in there. We got a big sneak peek right there. Got a couple of ducks, a couple of guinea hens, and a couple of chickens. So we gotta build something for them. My birthday's this weekend. We gotta paint, get the trim up, get our house back in order, and then hopefully this weekend we can start on the chicken coop. For sake of the video, I haven't showed you guys everything. We've got some done on the outside. I've really just stuck to the bathroom doors and show you how to trim it. We're gonna get this guy here moved up there and out there and see what we can do. But it doesn't look like it's going as bad as what it is. Frankly, it's really not. It's just been tedious and time consuming. Everything else has been rather easy. So let's get tonight done. Let's call day 6 done. I was officially losing my mind by this point. It's day 6. I thought we were going to have these done, painted, all good to go. Facebook pictures were going to go out, and it just did not pan out that way. One thing I really haven't learned, and you think I would by now, is that in any of these projects, the prep work is the most important part. I didn't measure the width and the thickness of the casing that was already on the doors. So when it was time to put everything back together, the new casing was significantly narrower and significantly thinner than that of the old casing. We tried to sand it down. If you've never sanded down latex paint, good luck getting that done. I tried to use the pink to white patch. That also didn't work. It just wouldn't thin out enough and get over and transition well enough. So I finally had to get out the +3 and do some actual drywall work, which is the bane of my existence. So we had to put on the drywall mud, wait for the drywall mud to dry overnight, then sand it, then clean it up, then paint, before we could even put casing on. Hanging the doors themselves and getting them in weren't necessarily hard. What I'll tell you is those brackets that I were using that I said made it a lot easier. I think it made it marginally better. Not having to get into the door jamb itself helped a lot and stopped a lot of work, but really it was 6 one, half dozen the other. Come on, fastback. Come on. There we go. Got her. Alright, I've lost track of what day it is, so I am completely uncertain. We started last Saturday, today's Saturday, so it's been 7 or 8 days. I've got everything out here done. It is done. I know there's no closet door. We're getting that done later. And that's the look we want to give it. So, staying consistent with the bathroom, I wanted to show you guys on really how to put up your casing. It's because my wife wants this overhang. I want to figure out where my header is going to go. And by doing that, what I do is take a big long level. I want to cover up the top of the frame so you don't see that. Now, don't ask me how I know, but you really want to make sure that you get this right. Otherwise, you'll see the frame, and if you're too low, it won't allow your door to open. So you really want to make sure that this is right. Okay, and then I'm just going to make a line onto your rough opening where it's going to be covered up by trim on each side of this. Okay, so now I have my measure points on where I need to go from the floor to right there, because this is going to be the bottom of that header. Now what I want to do is grab a tape measure and go from the floor to that mark. And this is also
Camera cut out during this part, but I have to cut out that baseboard down there to make room for the width of the new casing.
Foreman told me that it's looking too dirty, so gotta do what the boss man says. Can't hear it. I'm a little nervous about this one. Usually, you mess something up and you're like, yeah, nobody's gonna see it. But the problem is, I'm showing you guys what I'm doing. And speaking kind of like I'm an expert, and I'm not trying to. This is just for fun, and it can just get a little scary, a little nerve-wracking. I guess I can look right over. Okay, our first piece is up. Just to make sure. Oh yeah, my header is where I want it to be. I'm a little crooked there. We're good. I'm off level by a scotch. By a scotch. We're going for it. We're going for it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not perfect by any stretch of the word, but we've got 2 up. Let's see what we do now. Next step is going to be to take my tape measure, and my wife I'll tell you what we're going to do. Out here in the hallway, there's a 1-inch overhang. She really likes that look, which I do too. The problem is that we are butt right up next to the wall here. So if I were to do a 1-inch overhang, I'm at 34 7/8. 36 7/8 would put my trim coming out to here. I think, folks, we're going to cut this to 35. So we still have that butt jointed look, because she likes the butt jointed look. She likes to see the seam, which is fine. Less angles and things for me. But we're just going to butt joint and sit this on top without an overhang and hope that she likes it. Okay, let's cut it. All right, folks, moment of truth. Let's see how she looks. Oh yeah, I think I like that better. Personally, myself, I like it so much better than that ugly overhang. No, it looks good. Looks good. Because over there, I pushed that in. That's got a little bit. All right, we're going for it. I just hope she likes it.
Flashback.
All right, so it's my lunch break on day number 4, and I'm stopping to grab some stuff to fill in those nail holes. And unfortunately, when I was putting in the trim, I shot a nail through the side of the door frame, which means I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. What I think we're gonna do is use these wood filler pens and just clip the rest of the brad nail that I shot through, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're at the depot now. Let's see what we can come up with. So this is kind of what I'm looking for right here. One of these crayon molding things, but I'm afraid that this white isn't going to be bright enough and you're still going to see it. Let's see.
Just gonna send it!
So there's another 70 bucks down. I have turned this few $100 2-day project into a much more expensive 4-day project, potentially 5. Might be looking at a closet door for the linen closet tonight. That way we can get everything done and just put a bow on this and move on to our next project, but we'll see. All right, so here on camera, you really can't see that many nail holes. If I pointed them out to you, right here we've got one, right there we've got one. This is for wood repair. We're gonna see how this looks on this PVC. But all you do is basically a crayon, and you just rub it over top until it fills in. You just do this on all of them. Now for you trim carpenters, if you are watching, you got a better solution than this, because I don't really love this. Go ahead and drop a comment, because I'm sure on some of this stuff, I'm a complete buffoon.
That is correct.
But folks, what we're doing, and remember, is we're trying to do this stuff ourselves. We're trying to repair things and fix things without having to hire a contractor. And all these little mistakes that I made, that's what makes, let's make sure butt crack isn't hanging out. I think we're good. All these skills that I learned doing this will suit me if anything happens. I'll have these skills for the rest of my life. That's, you know what we're gonna have too? We're gonna have this this little mark here from this guy on the door for the rest of our lives too. Perfect.
Hell yes.
Nonetheless, I'll have these skills for the rest of my life. I'll be able to teach them to my kids. I'll hopefully teach them to you guys. Hopefully you learned something today. But we also saved well over $1,500 doing this.
I like money.
Could the final look be a little better? Yeah, but that's okay. That's what makes my house my house. Here's the last thing we do. When you're using this, the directions state to use a plastic putty knife. Scrape off any excess. So we're gonna do that right now. I put one here somewhere, didn't I? Oh, come on, where are you? Oh, right there. Now, these are what the folks at Home Depot told me to get. Home Depot? Wow. That was a quality Midwestern bowl. The folks over there at the Home Depot, no offense to you in the UP, Wisconsin, Minnesota, eh?
Did you bring the pasties? Yeah. Tell me you brought the pasties.
We're gonna eat like kings.
You know me. You know how I am. I am a creature with habits. If things aren't just so,
Things
won't work out. That's right.
Over there in Minnesota. Folks. One more. Sorry. Now what I'm going to do, because this stuff will stain your floor, vacuum it up. Well, folks, we've got ourselves finished doors. What more could you ask for? Folks, this was a project that pushed me to my limits. As I said in the video, I've never really done old work doors like this before. My hallway floor is a little unlevel and the rough openings of these doors were just so inconsistent. Working around and moving past those inconsistencies and rolling with the punches as they came was something I really had to get better at. Not to mention my internal deadlines that I give myself that are sometimes a little unrealistic. I started this noon on Saturday before Easter and expected to be done by Sunday night. That was completely unrealistic. The other area that I was really frustrated by was that my craftsmanship was just not coming out in the best ways sometimes. Once I would get frustrated with this, I would have to take a step back and just remember a couple of things. Number one, I thank God every day that I have an able body to be able to do these things. Number two, I'm grateful I've been gifted a mind that really grasps towards these challenges and looks at them as fun rather than frustrating. And beyond all that, I really believe that where there are imperfections in this work, it really tells to what we're trying to do. Gain a few skills, do things myself, and be reliant on me, not reliant on my ability to pay somebody to come and do that. And that's what I want to share with you guys. It's May in Michigan right now, which means it's going to get warmer quicker, and we have a lot of work on the outside of the house that we want to get done. We decided it'd be a great idea to buy 9 birds, poultry birds, 2 ducks, 2 guinea fowl, and 5 chickens. Not to mention I picked up about 20 chickens that I'm splitting with my dad that are over at his house. So I've got some birds that need a home. After the chickens are done, we plan on getting started on our vegetable garden. And once our vegetable garden is done, we plan on redoing some of the landscaping around the house to just enhance the curb appeal. Hopefully towards the end of the summer, getting into fall, we can plant our mini orchard. We already have a Gala apple tree planted out front, but I want some cherries, I want some nectarines, I want some pears, I want some plums to just lean into, not just inside our house and the skills that we have, but also on the outside, the food that we grow. We'll grow our own food. We'll have our chickens lay our own food. If I can talk my wife into it, we're gonna get some rabbits and we'll have our own meat. I hunt, I fish, so we are already kind of tiptoeing into this self-sufficiency, homesteading stuff. But the goal for this channel is to show you guys some of the things I wish I would have been looking for on properties when we were purchasing our house. In the past 5 years, we have gone through a significant shift, and I'm going to stay away from politics in the majority of these videos, but sometimes we just can't. In 2020, my governor, Gretchen Whitmer, decided to tell us that we could not go to local nurseries and buy our own seeds to grow our own food. It was too dangerous. There's been a strange shift in the expectations of people from government to not be as self-reliant and self-sufficient as what we once were. What I don't want, folks, is to have to wait around when the shelves are bare because I don't have corn or I don't have beans or I may not be able to eat this food or that food. When eggs are skyrocketing because of a bird flu, I don't want to have to worry about that. And when the news media is telling me that tariffs are going to completely tear apart my family and that my pocketbook will never recover, I again don't want to have to worry about that. My furniture I will build myself. My food I will grow myself. My projects in my house I will fix myself. And folks, I believe that you can do the same thing. I believe it is up to us as individuals to shift the culture and the expectations on relying on corporations or government or supply chains to get us our food, to get us our supplies, on contractors to come in and fix because I just don't have the time to learn a new skill. I think all of that is nonsense. And this channel is hopefully my little way of contributing to the culture shift. So all that being said, Backwoods Bob is not just tool reviews as much as I do love buying new tools. Those will be incorporated, but you can expect some of that content coming down the road. Really appreciate you guys watching, and please leave your feedback down below. Don't miss any of the content that's coming up this summer. I'm really excited about what's coming. Make sure you subscribe right here. We'll see you in the next one.